Tell us a little bit about what you saw and being able to relay that message to Cora when you watched Kimbrel pitch and kind of help out so he wasn't tipping his pitches.
So tipping pitches, we hear about it all the time.
People at home understand what tipping pitches is all about.
It's amazing.
And that's remarkable.
Alex, it's the second weekend of the Major League Baseball season, the 2026 Major League Baseball season, and I have 2 Bryce Harper updates for you.
2
of them. I think one of them you know about. We might have joked about it on a Patreon episode.
I really hope that he's saying, yeah, I've felt so good in the box thanks to that red light therapy.
No, dude, I wish. But we might be getting close to that. So the first one is the Bryce Harper protein. I'd like to spend a couple minutes talking about the Bryce Harper protein.
Let's do it. I think you know more about this than I do. So I will happily be the student here.
Well, actually, if your definition of knowing more about it than you do is watching Alex Bregman's TikTok about it and accidentally leaving Alex Bregman's TikTok about it playing on repeat on my computer for the last 12 hours, because when I plugged my headphones in today, Alex Bregman was just talking.
That's exactly what I meant. So great. We're aligned.
Okay, great. I'm going to play Alex Bregman's TikTok. See if you learn anything from this TikTok.
The package for my boy, Bryce Harper. Bryce and Just Ingredients teamed up to make 2 different proteins, Bryce's caramel latte and Bryce's banana bread. They're both NSF certified. Incredible.
Okay. NSF certified. That's the one that confirms it does come with lead.
No, actually, NSF certified is good. That's actually a good thing. I'm proud of Bryce for getting the NSF certification. I think NSF is like at National Sporting Federation or something. They're like some sort of independent agency that does the stuff that the FDA should do but doesn't.
Nice. Good.
You know, they just make sure all the ingredients that the company said are in the product are actually in the product. I like that part where he clearly read the 2 lines that they put in the insert into the package that he was supposed to read for receiving it, like he was an influencer. Yeah. And then at the end, when it comes time for the big taste test reveal, he just shakes his head once and goes, incredible. Video ends. I'm like, this is like a 90-second video and you're one moment to shine, Bregman. By the way, for the people who are not viewing on Vimeo, he does add his own espresso shot to the protein smoothie that he makes, I guess, which that was a vibe. Say a little more about that. Where'd you pull the espresso shot from? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Bregman, not that entertaining of a guy.
No.
37,000 likes on this TikTok.
Would have rather his kid done the 30 seconds.
I know the only charisma in this whole video is coming from the kid.
Genuinely. I love it's also very clearly like he did all the cutting on this video because it's just these awkward cuts where he's like has the front facing video and then it cuts just to him also in the front facing video.
I actually thought, I know that was not intentional, but I thought if it was intentional, it was kind of avant-garde.
It was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, it's not O'Malley-esque quite, but it is. There's a sort of an internet language to it, like the incorrect cuts. You know, I'm surprised by my own edit that I did.
Yeah. Alex Bregman, what are your thoughts on pipe rock theory?
Maybe the only guy in baseball I'd feel comfortable listening to his thoughts on pipe rock theory because he's the only guy we can comfortably say is like big L lib.
Yeah.
He's like big D dem.
Right, exactly.
Just kind of middle of the road woke. You know, I don't want to hear any other MLB player's opinion on pipe rock theory.
Big Debbie Wasserman Schultz guy.
Right, exactly. You know, the other guy that we're talking about right now, Bryce Harper, we get his thoughts on pipe rock theory. It'll be like, I always knew. Right,
exactly. He'll be like, no, but actually, are you guys in on this?
Okay, so that's the first piece of Bryce Harper news is that he got a protein.
2 flavors, right? It was, caramel brulee or something like that?
Caramel latte. Yes.
a caramel latte, and
Brulee,
then
I'm
Bryce's
interested,
banana
though. I'm interested.
Bryce's banana bread, which we
Bryce's
know
banana bread. Yes.
he's an aficionado in the kitchen of banana.
Well,
bread.
I think both of these are gleaned from his TikTok presence, Bryce's
Right,
TikTok
yeah.
presence. The caramel latte, obviously made with none other than raw milk,
Of
and
course.
Bryce's banana bread. God only knows what made its way into Bryce's banana bread. I want to try both of these. In fact, I
Yeah.
will try both of these on whenever the next time we do a MLB taste test is. We are going to bring back sipping pitches. I don't know exactly when. That's actually a lie. I do know when, but I hate committing to it this far in advance on a podcast. I mean, let me just be honest with the listeners. I have the next 6 months of the podcast planned out episode by
Yeah, that's
episode.
right. You do.
Because I'm mentally ill. But we will try the protein. Who knows if there'll be a video component to it this year? We're not really sure. I believe on the Patreon recently you said that you're committed potentially to doing some sort of strength training routine associated with Bryce Harper's protein.
Mm-hmm. I plan to take the week off work, and we're like just doing this bit. That's all we're doing. We're not leaving the gym.
I'm curious as to what you think is going to happen in 1 week's time with just taking Bryce Harper's protein.
I don't know, because there was nothing in the fucking video about how this product works.
Well, it's NSF certified, dude. Are you willing to also do Alex Rodriguez's HGH routine?
If he outlines it on his YouTube channel, I would in a heartbeat.
It's suddenly becoming more expensive than the podcast can afford, actually. Definitely this just ingredient. I actually didn't look it up, but it's definitely really expensive for protein powder.
I mean, let's see. What $65 for a bag. Is that a lot?
How much is a bag?
That looks like 25 servings or
Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. 24 grams of protein per serving.
I order pre-made protein drinks because I just don't. The powder is tough for me. You know, it's tough to digest.
Yeah.
Never really mixes that well. I don't want to put it. Let's be honest. I don't want to put it in the Ninja, in the bullet or whatever, and have to wash all the individual things every day. Come on now. So I order the pre-made ones. My preferred brand is. I will bleep that out because they've never paid us any money. And I think I get 30 of them, and they're like $38, and they're already pre-made.
Wow.
So to get 25 servings of this protein that you have to scoop and add your own extra ingredients to for $66 or whatever, that's not what you want. I suppose when you have a $330 million contract, it's not that important to you.
I mean, and if you want to be living a $330 million contract lifestyle, you're going to have to shell out $64. Sorry.
Okay, well, speaking of the $330 million contract lifestyle, the second piece of Bryce Harper news that I want to work through in this cold open here is that, you know, I haven't found a ton of overwhelming evidence that this is something that really happened, so I didn't want to do it first. I wanted to do it second. However, we see from at Mac Finds Pride on X, the Everything app, I feel like there's better times for Bryce Harper to get a hand tattoo than the second week of the season. With a follow-up post with a screenshot from Bryce Harper's Instagram of him getting a hand tattoo. Now, do I know if this is real? No, I don't. This could have been a screenshot from years ago. I don't have Instagram, so I didn't go check, Alex. But I find it funny and curious that Bryce Harper, international man of wellness and health, would choose to get a hand tattoo on the second week of the season. The whole thing was keeping the blood clean. Now he's exposing himself. He's putting the batting gloves on, the hand tattoo. Like, what's up?
Interesting that he's hitting 156 so far this year.
And that's definitely not small sample size theater, by the way.
Absolutely not.
Those numbers have stabilized.
I love that
Bryce Harper's batting average is in stable condition. Please, God.
I love that he's a mid-season poster. You know, most baseball players, they put the phone down. You know, they see, like, Mike Trout doesn't tweet between March and, I guess, September.
Well, that's not true, though. He for a while, he was tweeting where they were flying.
That's true.
The plane emoji and the city name. So, but you're right. He doesn't make a post with real content in it.
Yeah.
You know, LeBron's shutdown for the postseason, like his social media blackout for the postseason that he would do.
Yeah.
You know what he calls it?
What?
He would tweet at the beginning of every postseason. He would tweet hashtag 0dark3023. Like, he's going dark for the postseason, so he's tweeting 0dark30, but he's number 23, so he would tweet hashtag 0dark3023, which is incredible because, like, that's not what 0dark30 is.
Right. It feels official. I mean, it's like a military phrase for sure, right? Like I said, it's a war movie. This is probably what these guys are doing. They're going 0dark30 over there, right? They're locking in. They're putting the blinders on. Bro, I'm about to go apocalypse now up in this bitch.
Just listing off all the movies that LeBron actually knows.
Right. Bro, this October is designated Survivor time.
His teammate gets injured and he's like, dude, we just went Black Hawk Down mode.
Yeah. That's awesome. So that's not what Bryce Harper is doing, to be very clear. He's
0dark30 is a military slang term for 30 minutes past midnight, commonly used to describe an unspecified, uncomfortably early time in the morning before dawn. It emphasizes the darkness and secrecy of operations, often referring to a time between midnight and 4 a.m. So he's like, you never know what I'm going to do in the postseason.
Right. He's like, we've reached the night before the dawn, folks.
If this podcast was a basketball podcast, we would have spent, conservatively speaking, 50 plus hours talking about LeBron tweets over the years.
Yep. Yeah.
I think even without it being a basketball podcast, we spent at
We
least
still
like 3 to
managed to
5
get
hours.
a good of airtime out of it. Yeah.
Anyway, Bryce's hand tattoo. Don't know what it was. Don't know if it's real. I think it's funny. I think more players should get hand tattoos mid-season. Like, I got to take a week off. Sorry. Tricks of the trade.
Do you think that there is a Major League Baseball player right now on an active roster who has like the mustache tattoo on the inside of their index finger?
Oh, like the hipster one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I feel like all those guys, like that era of hipster guys, have aged out of the league.
You think?
They're like 44, you know, like Daniel, whatever. What was his name?
Norris?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Daniel
Yeah.
Norris. You knew who I was talking about.
Yeah. Really, it's like all the relievers, right? Like the Sean Doolittles of the world.
Give Sean some respect. Don't let Sean's name be the second name that comes out when we're talking about mustache tattoos on the inside.
I mean, come on. All right, let's be real here. Sean, I love you, but
Sean's gone quiet, so we could just continue to ramp up our sort of rumor milling about him until he
Totally.
is willing to come on the podcast and dispel with some of these rumors.
yeah, he has to. We're gonna force him to address this.
Who else?
John Axford. John Axford had the actual tattoo, the actual
Right,
mustache.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just listing the 3 guys that I remember we put on the all gentrification team back in like 2017.
All gentrification team was such a good idea. If we did that in 2024, bro, that
Yeah.
would have been going hard. But also, people would have probably been like, "Why are you making light of gentrification in America?" And we would have been like, "Well,
I mean, we
Fair.
did it. We did it. I think right when it was at the zeitgeist. You know, when it was right in the middle of the cultural conversation.
gentrification." You're talking about,
Gentrification. I mean,
or
yeah.
relievers? Which one?
Both, really.
No, I think relievers peaked on the Staffcast bullpen episode. That was the peak of relievers in culture.
If you say so.
You don't know nothing about that. You didn't listen.
I don't- What is that? A podcast? What is that? A vodcast?
It's it's not a vodcast because Richard is a coward.
Yeah, it's true. Never seen that man's face.
It's more of an audio diary, if we're being honest. It's not really a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. We did the gentrification. We really capitalized on that moment, and it got us millions of listeners, as I recall. You know, everybody was really flocking to listen to the all gentrification team episode.
We were in our bag early there. If anyone knows what Bryce got tattooed on his hand, feel free to write in and let us know. tippingpitchespod@gmail.com, 785-422-5881. Hit the voicemail line. I simply can't, for the life of me, figure it out. It looks like some sort of geometric like line drawing or something like that. At first,
Yeah, well,
I was
he
like, is that like the Deathly Hallows logo or something? Like,
The second most popular.
he doesn't
tattoo
watch
you
Harry
can get
Potter.
on
He
the
just wants to
inside of your
support J.K.
hand.
Rowling.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that Bryce wouldn't fuck with J.K. Rowling. Honestly,
I think so. Yeah.
I think he would not like her energy.
Mm-hmm.
Black mold poison brain that she has. I think he would be
Right,
like,
that's for sure. Yeah.
you got to do some voluntary dialysis to
Like,
get rid
there's
of some
some
of these
bad
toxins.
aura coming from this.
Okay, we have a fun episode coming up for you. Couple of different things that we want to hit, couple grab bag topics, and then of course we have to revisit, maybe for the final time. No, teams will replace their jersey patch. The most evil jersey sponsors ranked, because the Tampa Bay Rays, the final holdout, have committed to a jersey patch for the 2026 season. We are also going to run through an article on fangraphs.com written by Kiri Oler about the 50 greatest. Is that the terminology?
It's technically most eyebrow raising.
50 most eyebrow raising sponsorships in MLB history. History or the 21st century? Can you tell I haven't read this article?
You're
gonna run me through. I don't have any of the requisite information to do the hosting responsibilities here. I was trying to go in blind so that you could actually run through it and it would be more entertaining. But I'm like, wait, I don't know anything what I'm supposed to say.
The article is titled "The 50 Most Eyebrow-Raising Team Promotions of 2026." So you were halfway there. You had the half that I gave to you.
Yeah, that was sort of like a AI hallucination from first principles right there by me.
Right, exactly. You were hallucinating based off our own internal transcripts, I think.
Right, exactly. Yeah, things that we've talked about.
Sponsorships in team history.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to do all of that. But before we do, I am Bobby Wagner.
I am Alex Baisley.
And you are listening to Tipping Pitches. Thank you to this week's new patrons. Bob. We got another Bob. I'm sick of all these Alexes. If your name is Bob and you're listening to this right now, consider joining Patreon. We're outnumbered by the Alexes. 10-1, I would argue.
Yeah.
10-1.
Yeah. I mean, it's you, Bobby Manfred, and whoever this new guy is.
Pointsman, Elio, Fleetwood Max, and Max. That's two separate people at the end, by the way. There's Fleetwood Max and then just Max. Just in case anyone's keeping track at home. Thank you for signing up. Patreon.com/tippingpitches. That's where we do 2 bonus episodes a month during the baseball season. Most often, they take the format of 3 up, 3 down, where we talk about 3 things bringing us joy, 3 things taking that joy away. It's all the stuff that we can't cram into this very news-based weekly podcast that we do here.
Yeah.
All the stuff that just doesn't quite fit, the odds and ends.
Right. Maybe the news that's not fit to print.
Exactly. All the news that's not fit to print. That makes it into the... Have we determined if every other week is bi-weekly or does that count?
I think it is bi-week. I think bi-weekly either means every other week or twice a week.
Not the finest moment for the English language right there, if you ask me. Let's just say semi-monthly.
Semi-monthly. Nice.
Yeah. I work at a tech company now, so we do semi-quarterly or semi-annually. They say that stuff all of the time, so I'm just I guess can apply that here. Semi-monthly bonus episodes and sometimes extra stuff like videos accompanying normal episodes, spur of the moment newsletter-esque ramblings about the state of the world. Been a minute since we did one of those. I actually wrote a 5,000 word rambling about the state of something in the world a couple months ago and never ran it on our Patreon because I just wasn't sure if I wanted to be that confrontational publicly, but we'll see if that ever makes it out there. Patreon.com/tippingpitches. Okay. I know we're going to talk about the Rays jersey patch. We're going to talk about the 50 most eyebrow raising promotions of 2026. I got it now. I got it.
That's right.
Couple things I wanted to talk about beforehand. Did you see that Joe Adele robbed 3 home runs last night?
Dude, I'm so glad you brought this up because I also wrote this down. And whenever there's an actual baseball thing that happens,
You're scared to bring it up.
I'm sort of like, do we do it? I like to play footsie with it a little bit. Insane.
Is Joe Adell robbing 3 home runs? I have a hard time determining like how statistically significant this is, because it feels like one of the most insane things that's ever happened for 3 hits to even be robbable in the same game to the same spot to the same guy.
Yes. I mean, so 2 of them were hit to roughly the same spot in the outfield. He had to go up and basically rob it over the yellow home run line that's like painted onto the right field wall. And then the third one obviously was like what Derek Jeter thought he was doing all those years ago. Right. The third one is an actual bona fide, like, leapt into the crowd, fell over the wall, came up holding the ball. Just awesome shit. I don't know if you heard the Mariners broadcast call of that catch. Awesome stuff. I love when the opposing broadcaster is also left speechless by just athletic, incredible feats.
I have a question about the 3rd home run robbery.
Okay.
Is that not a home run? Don't you have to like catch the ball in fair territory first before flying out of the park for it to be? Maybe just explain this rule to me, because I was like, he didn't catch it in play. He went flying into the stands.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be a home run? Not to pour cold water on maybe the greatest defensive game of all time.
Well, I think that the Angels broadcaster was a little thrown by this as well. He initially calls it a home run and then is like, oh, they're calling it out.
Yeah, they're calling it the worst call ever made. It's not his fault, but it's not a great call.
I don't know, man. This is where it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, this is sort of like the cool. It was too cool not to.
Right, it's the cool factor.
Exactly. Yeah. We're just using common sense here. Like he deserved to have the home run robbed, and so therefore we're not going to take it away from him. Good for him. Good for him. I still don't know if he can hit. 8 years into his MLB career, I'm still not sure. Still waiting.
It doesn't matter. Damn. Are the Angels fun?
No. I mean, no. Still no. Did you see there was like a Michigas? Yeah, there was a Michigas. There was a Michigas between the Angels and the Mariners the game before.
I say more about what that means.
Oh, you didn't catch this.
No.
The Angels in the first, or sorry, the Mariners in the first inning, Brian Wu, in Mike Trout's first at bat, I think of the opener of this series. First pitch was fastball up and in. Trout ducked underneath it. I think like 2 pitches later, Wu hit him with another fastball up and in the head, in the helmet. And then they were none too pleased about that outcome on the Angels side. Mm-hmm. And so I think it was Reed Detmers, the Angels starter, threw behind Julio. And then that was sort of the end of it. Wouldn't have predicted Mariners Angels, most interesting series of the year so far.
The Angels are just excited to like be involved, that someone thinks they're worth throwing at. Like
nobody is trying to throw at Mike Trout, by the way. Like that is like the least offensive guy that you could possibly imagine in baseball.
Yeah.
Maybe Brian Wu was trying to send a message, that's my plate. Back off.
Mm-hmm. I use AccuWeather.
What does Trout use?
I don't know. He's got like his own proprietary models, I think.
Really?
There's only one way to find out. I don't actually know the app that he uses.
What app do you use? Because I got to be honest, Apple Weather and like AccuWeather are diverting further and further away from each other these days. They'll be like 10 degrees apart.
It's literally, my wife yesterday was like, it's 71, real feel of 78. And I said, it's 71, real feel of like 65. What are we doing?
Like, we're wearing different outfits based on what app we open.
Yeah, I use Apple Weather mostly because I was a dark sky acolyte.
I know,
and
dude.
then
Alex paid for the lifetime subscription to Dark Sky, and then Big Tim Apple bought it and
that
rendered that
it's
purchase
free.
useless. You're like, I want my $9.99 back, bro, or $11.99 probably.
Yeah, honestly.
You're never going to get that money back. Well, now that we've talked about it on the podcast, you can retroactively expense it.
Oh, thank you.
That's how it works. In the eyes of the Internal Revenue Service.
Second week of the season, and we're talking the nuances between weather apps, as I expected we would be.
We are meeting the people, the listeners of this podcast, where they are. I know many people who just heard that exchange felt seen by that because they're in a weather app gap relationship and they're arguing with their partners about what the fucking temperature outside is. You are in one of those. I'm in one of those. And a bunch of people listening to this podcast are like, I'm in one of those right now.
You don't have to suffer in silence any longer.
I don't even
we can
care
have this
which
conversation.
Side of the gap you're on. I think we just need to close the gap. I don't care which side we hew towards. I'm not particular about what the weather is outside. I just want to know the truth. I want to stop being lied to.
Weather app gap relationship is going to be in my brain for the rest of the week.
Thank you. Don't say we never invented anything here on the Tipping Pitches podcast. Don't say we aren't original. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to talk about before the Rays jersey patch, because you're the number one UX guy that I know, is that the MLB app has gotten a yassified redesign.
Yeah.
There's like a bluish gray background to everything now. It's got a little snow effect, a little bit of grain to it, like it's a 70s film. It doesn't work faster. It's not smoother. It crashes all of the time still. They haven't fixed anything on the back end, but it's gotten a front end redesign. I'd like you to weigh in as our design expert.
It does feel like it's in their tradition of looking at a design and being like, this, it needs to breathe more, right? Everything needs to like take up a little bit more space, but also there simultaneously needs to be more white space in there, right? So like half is when you open up the app, you can see like half as many games as you could before, right? Yeah. I see the Mets and the Giants at the top of my screen right now.
Is that because you have the Mets selected as your favorite team?
Because I have the Mets selected as my favorite team.
Can we officially bury the Phillies fandom?
I think we can. Yes. After you outed me this weekend at Lou's Athletic Club
in front of event full of
Mets fans, and right before we went on, you were like, "I think what I'm going to do is tell everyone that you elected to be a Phillies fan on the pod." And I said, and then you pushed me up on stage.
I thought it went over quite well. I don't know.
I did too. It was not our event, but thanks to everyone who came out to Lou's. That was fun. Go read Metropolitans.
That was fun. Yes. Tune in on April 30th as I debate against the Yankees on New York television.
That's right.
More to come later, I guess.
If you want, it's up to you.
I'm learning things in real time about what I'm doing in the future.
So that's the first thing that stands out to me, right? Is that there's just, you open up the app and immediately you see less information than you did prior. The one that
I'm not blanket opposed to that.
Interesting.
I am there to see the Mets.
Well, okay. All right. Sorry,
before it was kind of hard to find the Mets game. I'm being honest.
Is this a bit?
No, this is not a bit. This is not a bit. I like that when you first open it, the one thing that I like about the UX, never mind the design or the graphics or whatever. The one thing I like about the UX is that now we have as we call it in CMS, content management systems, the like hero image, and then there's the gallery underneath of the other games. But the big box is basically auto-selected for you to start into your team's game or your local RSN or whatever is playing.
Are you talking about this is on the homepage or on the scores screen?
Oh, I'm talking about on MLB TV.
Oh, on
you're
MLB.
Just talking about
what?
You're talking about the app in general. Oh, okay. Well, it's all one thing now, though, because it's like there's no MLB at Bat app anymore. Wait, there's the MLB at Bat app, and then there's the MLB app. No, sorry.
What? No, wait, what?
There's no MLB at Bat app anymore. There is still an MLB Ballpark app for some reason. That is a separate app.
Well, and there's still an MLB app that fulfills the role of it. That you can follow your team and follow scores and stuff.
They just ditched the at bat. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
Now, I was talking about the MLB TV interface. I apologize. You're doing an overall review of the entire.
Where is the MLB TV interface? Like what? Like on your computer?
on my TV. What do you mean? Do you watch baseball?
I'm trying to really nail down the specificity of where you are. Is this so that this is through ESPN?
No. This is the MLB app on television.
On your like Samsung TV or whatever.
Yeah, or it's the same on like I'm at my parents and they have an Amazon Fire Stick because they have an LG TV and there's no MLB app for LG. There just isn't. It just doesn't exist, which is like great work, boys. Greatest businessmen of our time. Can't figure out how to get your app on LG. Millions of TVs across America. You can't figure out how to get your app there at all. Nice work. But also the design is the same as the laptop version too.
Okay.
It's like the desktop design.
This is, I see now we were talking about two different visual languages.
You were in SQL and I was in another coding language.
Well, because I think some other
Python?
folks have.
Is that another one? I knew there's a mistake.
There's
one that starts with a J, right?
What, JavaScript?
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Yeah. What else?
Of course, there's
C++.
HTML, my beloved. Is there a C+ and a C++ or just a C++?
I think it's just C++, but we're now going beyond sort of my real knowledge. Yeah.
It's like Food Town or whatever, like the supermarket chain in New York City.
Right. You're like, was there an original Food Town?
You had to differentiate it with another town like C++.
The biggest one for me on the app, because I really do care about this. I really do.
No, I know you do. That's why I asked.
Is that
on the phone, to be clear.
On the phone, we're talking about MLB at the artist formerly known as MLB at Bat. You can't just click into the box score of a game from the main screen anymore.
And why would you want to? Why would you want to see something like the box score?
It is always the first thing that I click into when I want to see how a game is going. I never click in and see like to the the preview or game day or whatever. I'm like, oh, I wonder how this at bat is playing out right now. No, I'm like, give me a sense of what's going on. Now I heard
ironic that now you have to see the at bat right away, but they took at bat out of the title. Sort of mixed messages as to what they whether they want us to engage with the at bat or not.
I heard maybe they're updating the app to bring back the box score option.
That would be nice.
Which would
be nice
sick.
to be able to see the box score. Of
famously the thing that people have used to track how a game is
summary
going.
of a baseball game that you could possibly have. Yeah, the box score.
Anyway, those are my thoughts on the app. I don't know if you have other thoughts on.
I have back end thoughts about the app. Why does everything take so long to open? The load time where you just get the MLB logo when you open the app, it's like somewhere between 5 and 15 seconds. Like it's the longest load time.
We're talking MLB
phone app. Yes.
Phone
app. Yes. The iOS app, by the way. There could be Android users who are like, this works perfectly for me, and I have no idea. You just keep on keeping on, Android users. I'm really happy for you. Or sad. I don't know. I don't have the time to test the Android app for this podcast segment. But yeah, the load times are wild. Also, they've introduced a feature where you can delay notifications that you receive about your team 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fine solve for the problem of getting notified on your phone before something happens that you're watching on streaming. The 30-second streaming delay problem. That wasn't the root cause of the issue, guys. The root cause of the issue was that you've now built the entire delivery mechanism for your product on whether or not the person watching that product happens to live on the block of the city that they live in that has Verizon Fios. And if not, they are 1 minute behind everything else. And so most of the internet has updated before the actual game, which is the primary product here.
Yeah. Dude,
seems like a problem for existentially delivering baseball games to human beings in the future, if you ask me.
Real patrons will know I wrote a newsletter about this a couple years ago. About how like basically nothing we're watching anymore is live. Like it's all 20. I can go and get a pirated stream online and have it be like I'm watching like cable TV, right? It had like a couple seconds maybe after the pitch is thrown. I'm seeing the pitch thrown or something like that.
You could
It's
do that. To be clear, you would never do that. You'd never pirate MLB without the express written consent of Major League Baseball and its rights holders.
No, I have too much respect for them to do that. But I'm just saying that the hypothetical user could, if they wanted to.
I saw someone talking recently, but this wasn't about MLB, but it was about, I think, HBO Max or something. They were like, I signed up for an HBO Max subscription, and I had like 2 or 3 people were logged into it or something, and we got the notification that was like, you have too many users, add a user or add a new subscription. And they were like, whatever, I'm just canceling my subscription. I'm going back to pirating. I tried to give you money. I tried. And now I'm just going back to ripping you off. Good job. Great business. Great business mind right there. And it made me think of MLB. It honestly did. The years and years and years that I was trying to give them money to let me just open my TV and turn on SNY without a cable subscription. And they were just like, nah, we'll get around to it. We'll get around to it. And we're still in the getting around to it era.
That we are.
A listener pointed out that we forgot 2 whole rights holders for Major League Baseball when we ran through it last week. When we ran through that ridiculous, all the things that you would have to subscribe to watch MLB games.
Okay. Yeah, we
forgot
like ESPN,
Fox and TBS. The ones who broadcast the playoff games.
Right.
We forgot them. Saturday on Fox and Tuesdays
the one
on
who
TBS.
Employs our
Alex
patron
Rodriguez. Yes.
Yeah.
Not great. Not great. Is it our fault or is it their fault? Probably ours, but maybe theirs.
You know what? I'm going to say this is what happens when there's a dozen different places to watch a baseball game. This is what happens when I need a flowchart graphic to understand where to watch this afternoon's game.
Exactly. Okay.
Is it a leap year? If yes.
Yeah. Do you live in a part of the country that media executives care about? If yes. Okay. The Rays. They have a new jersey patch.
That's right.
Take us away. This sort of completes what I would call maybe one of your greatest academic endeavors. The jersey patch. The most evil jersey patches ranked. This completes it.
Yeah. A multi-year long endeavor on our part to come up with an objective ranking.
Syndicated to other podcasts.
Syndicated to other podcasts. Yes. We've taken the show on the road. The Rays, and I will note, actually, this got announced before the season started, so it's a little delinquent on our part. Some of you may know about this already, but you don't know where it lands on the list. So
don't cave.
What I'm saying is that while this was announced technically a few weeks ago, it doesn't actually become official until we talk about it here.
Love that take. Good take.
The Rays
just
announced.
Got so dark and started raining here. Whose weather app do you think knew that?
Yours.
No, I don't. I actually didn't see rain on my weather app, so I guess I'm using the wrong one.
Wait, you didn't say. Are you using AccuWeather?
No.
Which one are you in?
I use Apple. I'm the Apple one. It's fucking built into the phone,
I know. Yeah.
I don't download a separate clock app.
The Tampa Bay Rays announced a couple weeks ago that their 2026 jersey patch sponsor will be none other than Webull. I know you know Webull. It's where you do most of your day trading. Webull invests confidently in stocks, options, and ETFs. According to Webull, according to Wikipedia.
Invests confidently. Imagine if they were like, we invest haphazardly in stocks and ETFs.
They provide an electronic trading platform which offers commission-free and low-cost trading of stocks, exchange-traded funds. We love those. Options, margins, fixed income, cryptocurrency, and futures.
Ooh. How does this compare to Polymarket? Dude, Weeble is crazy. Weeble.
I don't think. Well, I don't know if Weeble does. They probably do prediction markets as well.
I just can't stop laughing at you saying Weeble because I know this company. I've seen this company everywhere.
Yeah.
They advertise in other sports leagues. Just have never really heard it said aloud. And I've never said it aloud. And every time you say Weeble, I'm just
Weeble.
like, what? It's so funny because I get what they're sort of going for. Like, you know, a bull market, you know, that's
Right.
the play here.
Yeah, we all
Which,
bull
as
here.
We know what a bull market here is on tipping pitches. We've learned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now we all know. But when you say it aloud, it just kind of sounds like Weeble, you know, like feeble with a W.
Right.
Or Weevil, you know, like the little
right. Yes.
tiny little rodent.
Well, unfortunately, Bobby, it's neither of those things. It is we bull. You and I,
A weevil's not a rodent, by the way. A weevil is an insect. I apologize. They're beetles. I don't want anybody, you know, pedantically emailing us being like, I can't believe you thought a weevil was a rodent.
Wait, it's a beetle? It's a beetle called a weevil? All right. I can't. We need to rank this patch at all costs. Because as you mentioned,
legs,
this rounds it
pincers.
out. They're like Robinhood, basically. That's what they're
Pretty
just
much.
another Robinhood where you can go on and their big payment, their big business model is like payment for order flow. If you're familiar with what that is. I know you love payment for order flows.
Duh.
And it's like gamified investing.
Mm-hmm. I got a couple pieces of background for you on the foundation and early history.
Yeah, please.
And by early history, I mean 10 years ago. This company is 10 years old. You know, MLB loves to get in bed with only 10-year-old companies. You know, they're just like, nothing could come out about this company that would embarrass us. That would never happen.
Yeah.
Weeble was founded in 2016 by a Chinese holding company by a guy named Wang Anquan, who was a former employee of Alibaba. You know Alibaba? The Nets guy, Joe Tsai, Alibaba. On May 24th, 2017, Weeble Financial LLC was established as a Delaware limited liability company. Thanks, Delaware. We can always count on you. In 2019, though, Weeble Corporation was then established in the Cayman Islands to serve as the parent company of the original Weeble platform. So you just like you sort of level up to polite society by founding your company, then organizing it in Delaware where there's no laws, and then reorganizing it in the Cayman Islands where there are laws that are actively supporting you as a corporation.
Right, yes.
You go from just like being we can't afford not to organize in Delaware, and then they just go to the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
And that's always a good sign. Is how
they're like, we have regulated insider trading here.
Correct. Exactly. In May 2020, the company received SEC approval to launch a robo-advisor on its platform. Now you might be saying, what's a robo-advisor? You're probably not saying that because it's pretty self-evident. It's a bot that tells you how to trade.
Yeah, that's good. And probably has my personal best interests in mind, I think.
I mean, who else? Only you are talking to the bot. Who else?
That's true. Yeah,
would it care to help?
That's right. Yeah. Fined by FINRA. Always good to be fined by FINRA for approving people for options trading that they should not have been approved for. Also fined for failing to supervise promotional content. I guess they had paid social media influencers that were like, you can use Weeble and become a millionaire. It's like, sure, I guess hypothetically.
You can also use the Apple Weather app and know what weather is coming.
Exactly.
Ooh, in 2024, attorneys general from 14 U.S. states launched a probe into Weeble, centered on data privacy concerns and its potential ties to the Chinese Communist Party. All right,
I know this is the other big thing of it is like the CCP ties.
CCP ties, like, come on. Who do you want Weeble to sell to in America? Which family? Which company?
Went public on the U.S. stock exchange via
SPAC.
You guessed it, a SPAC.
There's no other way these days.
There's no other way. All right.
I'm sick
Evil.
of the SPAC stuff, by the way, if we have just a second to talk about this. Why don't you
course.
pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and go public the old-fashioned way? Actually write
By having a real product
document. Actually write the document or whatever, and IPO like a normal company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting
place
that
this.
Alex's Rodriguez SPAC deal completely fell apart last summer. I don't even know if we ever talked about that. How he had to end up like suing the company that he was going public with. It's crazy. That's for another episode, I guess.
Deep dive on Patreon.
Weeble, not to be confused with Weevil or Feeble.
Or
Definitely-
Wee Bear. You wouldn't want that.
Should we start a Wee Bear market? That's like no, bad
Only
time.
shorting
Bad time.
companies.
Bad time to be getting into the market. You should stay away. A financial advisor that's like, nah, you should keep it under your mattress.
I would be a great person for that, because anytime I've been presented with any opportunity to do anything related to the stock market, I've just been like, just sell it, get rid of it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Give me the cash.
Give me the cash.
Don't want it.
So Weeble, definitely bad, but bad in like a gamified app that lets teenagers blow up their savings accounts. Bad, which is not great. It's not built the Dakota Access Pipeline. Bad, which for better or for worse is the scale we're working on here.
Yeah. It's not war profiteering. Although maybe it is. Indirect war profiteering, probably.
Right. Yeah. We haven't looked at. Well, I don't know. What's the CCP getting up to these days?
I don't know. Every time I see a post about China, it's like, look how much better China is at every single thing than us.
Yeah.
Including, I don't even see anti-CC propaganda, CCP propaganda anymore. Like they're not. The government's not even trying. They're like, yeah, they're cooking over there. Whatever. You're not going to move there. That's the government stance at the moment.
It's a pretty big bet. I'm not going to lie. I'm thinking somewhere in the top 10, but like low top 10s, you know?
Yeah. There's a couple, I think, relevant touch points between 8 to 13 that I would like to bring up.
Yeah.
Starting at 13, we have Securian Financial. They're sort of like a, what are they again? They're kind of like this, right? Like they're like institutional investment.
Yeah.
Then the Yankees and Star Insurance. I feel like we never really knew what to do with Star Insurance because they're like insurance for companies. Like I don't know. Quikrete, who you have been a long time hater of
course,
because of their environmental impact, I guess.
Yeah.
Airwallex feels extremely relevant to this conversation because I still kind of don't really know what they do. They're like an app that's like 30 days old that the Giants were like, sure, we'll put you on our jersey. By the way, I got to see the Airwallex patch in action for the first time this weekend while the Mets were playing the Giants. And I was just like, this is the franchise of Willie Mays. You know? And they have an Airwallex patch on their arm. Like, at least when it was Chevy, it was like, okay, this is a real company, you know? Like,
right.
So
at least it's like baseball, hot dogs, apple pie.
So debasing. Unbelievable. And then, of course, Kroger, hot button issue that I don't even want to get into. And then at number 8, we have CME Group for the Chicago White Sox. Now, as we sat here and talked about Weeble, I do think CME Group is the company that felt the most similar, where you could just kind of like trade random shit, like unregulated, sort of.
Yeah.
CME Group, not a bank. Let's just make sure that we specify that. They're
Correct.
a non-bank, right?
They are they're not a bank. They operate financial derivatives exchanges.
Classic. So,
but also
Weeble
they
feels less evil than them, kind of.
Really? I was going to say maybe slightly more evil than them. And the reason why is like,
isn't there a chance that some of the trades you do on Weeble are facilitated by CME Group? Now I'm kind of blowing your mind.
You are,
We're
yeah.
doing sort of like
Whoa.
fake financial app inception here.
Sure, that is. Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't know who Webull has their like. I mean, this is how these apps work, right? Is you go to them and because you want to do a trade, you don't want to be charged any fees. Webull says that's great because I have people who I'm going to direct your trades to, and I'll get paid from them instead of charging you the fees. So I suppose if CME is one of the companies that offers them the rates that they're looking for, like, yeah, they could send the trades to CME. Again, we're now at the point of me filling in blanks in this system just in my head. I'm just sort of trying to make connections that may or may not exist.
Webull appears to use Apex Clearing, which is a fintech digital solutions company. Yeah, you're right. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. I'm now on Reddit r/personal finance reading about whether Apex Clearing is a scam.
Like CME Group, under no circumstances do you have to hand it to CME Group. At least they've been around 100 years.
Yeah, I think we're maybe talking about a logical fallacy as to whether that makes them more or less evil. I don't know. You're right, though, that they have the track record. Like, if they were to crash the entire U.S. economy, they would have done it by now, probably. But Webull and these other sort of newer fintech companies, like, they still might, you know?
Well, it just feels more directly grift based. Like, I don't think CME is trying to get 19-year-olds to be like, you could pay your rent via derivatives trading, you know?
Yeah,
but Webull's like, you can become a millionaire. Just buy some NFTs. Serious, trust me, bro. Just one more NFT. We'll put a little like confetti emoji on your screen when you buy it.
Yeah, they got haptics on Webull, bro.
Right, haptics. Notifications being like, "Ooh, I see you just got paid. Want to buy some more stocks?"
Oh no,
I don't know. I don't know if that's actually if they actually do that. But if not, they probably should.
We're gonna be catching the fucking cease and desist from Webull for you saying that they send notifications on payday notifications. That's actually that's not even true. They're not gonna send us a cease and desist. They're gonna be like, can we actually use that idea?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
In November 2024, Webull launched overnight or extended hours trading, expanding the trading window of U.S. stocks for its users both inside and outside of the United States. So they're like, you're up 3 a.m. You just got done cashing your FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
You're out with the boys, come home, just do a cheeky little trade on Webull.
Feeling like a bull,
It's like Uber. It's like how Uber will send you a notification that's like, this is the 3, late night Uber Eats options in your neighborhood, and you're never going to order from it, but they still try no matter what. They probably make like 60 million in revenue from those notifications a year.
It's so awesome when Uber's like, feel like taking a car right now? I'm like, nope, I actually don't have anywhere to be. If I do, I'll let you know.
Company in such dire straits that they're trying to manufacture a place for you to go when you don't have one.
I mean, growing up, I did like getting driven around the block while I dozed in the back seat, I guess. Sure.
That could be an upside opportunity for Uber.
Uber Sleep.
This guy who drives you around in a circle around the block.
You
fall asleep.
Travis
Who's going to carry you back up to your apartment, though?
Let's link.
Travis Kalanick is not still running Uber.
I know. All right.
You got to pick where they're going, I think.
What are you thinking?
You just got to choose.
I mean, I'm leaning towards 8, which puts them right above CME Group and right below Independence Blue Cross. But I'm willing to negotiate on that.
No, I think that's good. I detest Webull. I've been thinking about them for years. They were the sponsor of the Nets for a while, and the Nets were like, "No, we got to pivot to a healthcare SaaS. That's more relevant for our customers." Because the Alibaba connection, Joe Tsai, the Alibaba guy.
Oh yeah, duh.
Okay, I feel good about that. That makes the top 10: Kroger, CME Group, Webull. Let me do the teams: Cincinnati Reds, Kroger; Chicago White Sox, CME Group; Tampa Bay Rays. By the way, we didn't even mention Webull is headquartered in St. Petersburg. That's where their international headquarters is. Not to be confused, They were originally a limited liability corporation in Delaware. Now they have a parent company in the Cayman Islands, but they actually work out of Florida. The holy trinity of sorts right there. Then we have the Philadelphia Phillies at number 7 with Independence Blue Cross. They dropped the Blue Shield. It's cleaner. I can't believe I just made that joke for a second time on the podcast.
Second time.
So
that was
embarrassing.
good. It's staying in, though.
That's not for you to decide. Number 6 is the Los Angeles Dodgers at Guggenheim. Crazy that they're that low. St. Louis Cardinals is number 5 with Stiefel. Don't call him Stifle. Number 4, Colorado Rockies and York Space Systems, the guys who are trying to bring nukes to the moon. Number 3, Cleveland Guardians and Marathon. Number 2, Texas Rangers and Energy Transfer, the aforementioned Dakota Access Pipeline builders. And number 1 is the Houston Astros and Occidental Petroleum, aka Oxy. What a list. What a list. Alex, I was watching New York Rangers versus Detroit Red Wings game last night.
Okay.
And you know who the helmet sponsor of the Detroit Red Wings is?
Is it Oxy?
It's Meyer.
Little Caesars. Ah,
It's Meyer. Same as the Tigers. Meyer is cooking out there in the Midwest. Can't keep up with them. Superstore.
is also owned by the Illiches, right? The Red Wings?
The Red Wings. Yeah, I
is that who you said had the helmet sponsor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It is owned by the Illich family. They're
And
keeping
that Meyer
it
money,
consistent.
baby.
We got
Mhm.
Meyer on the Tigers and the Red Wings uniforms. We got Little Caesars Arena
Yeah.
for the Red Wings. Gosh, it's great. What a great economy we've built. All right. Speaking of the economy, recession indicator from the ballpark promotions in 2026, or are we on the up and up?
That might be for you, the listener, to decide.
Okay.
As you mentioned, Kiri Oler over at fangraphs.com. You know it. You love it. You should subscribe to it.
What a great website.
Wrote an article, the 50 most eyebrow-raising team promotions of 2026. Look, I'm sorry, but my BuzzFeed millennial brain loves a listicle. I don't know what to tell you, especially when it's a listicle of products that I can pay my hard-earned Weeble cash to acquire.
Weeble cash is what they give you when your stock actually hits. They don't give you real cash. They give you Weeble
right,
bucks.
the Weeble dollars. I kind of feel like we should maybe we don't need to go through all 50 items on this list, but I wanted to go through it with you, Bobby, and see, are there any games that we might need to make a pilgrimage to go and get any of these promotional items?
Thank you for asking. I would love to. However, maybe this is a good opportunity for me to talk about the fact that you can't get giveaway items anymore these days. Because
of the lines?
Yeah, because collectors, I guess, don't have jobs. So they get to the game 4 hours ahead of time.
I know.
And then they get the items and then they leave. And I don't know what we can do about that, but it feels very similar to like the scalping problem. Like these items are just being scalped. The Mets gave away a replica 86 World Series ring for the game that I went to, and I was there like 30 minutes before first pitch, and it wasn't even like, it was nowhere to be seen. Like no, the lines were around the block. There's no block at Citi Field, but you know what I mean. Around the proverbial block to get this giveaway, and then people just left.
I have never quite understood why the giveaways are limited within the game itself. Like it's already a limited edition collector's item because it's only being given to people who show up for the game. Why then are you still like, also it's just the first 20,000 fans?
I guess you
just the first 10
down.
They're breaking the bank, spending like what, 12 cents on this bobblehead.
Maybe it's just like for practicality's sake, like they can't. That's so many
have that many items,
replica jerseys. Like that's too many boxes. We don't have enough people to hand it out. I don't know. I mean,
you know what I don't care about is that it's too many fucking boxes for you to deal with.
I know when you go through 500,000 plastic cups per game,
Yeah.
like that you have no plan to recycle them because recycling is fake. I'm not really exactly worried about you not being able to acquire that many plastic rings or whatever. You used to be able at Citi Field, at least. Maybe this is not a problem at a lot of ballparks across the country, but at Citi Field, at least, you used to be able to go to the right field gate, even when like stuff was sold out at home field, and you used to be able to walk in. I feel fine saying that now because they never even open that gate anymore. You can't even enter through that gate because, probably McKinsey told Steve Cohen to stop paying gate attendants to open that gate. People will just stand in line. Don't even get me started on Yankee Stadium. They have 2 gates open for the whole fucking ballpark. You miss the first 4 innings, even if you get there 45 minutes early.
But it's like, oftentimes, especially when there are giveaways that are really popular, that ends up being baked into the ticket price, whether I get the giveaway or not. If it's a really coveted giveaway, I'm paying twice as much to get into the game, and I'm not even getting the thing that it's getting like upsold for.
I know.
Anyway, this is not what we intended to talk about here, but
someone's got to do it, though. Someone's got to talk about it.
You got to look out for the little guy.
You think our new best friend Jeff Passan's going to spend a whole episode talking about this on his new little podcast?
No.
Honestly, he might. I have no idea. I've gotten a lot of feedback on the Jeff Passan episode. I won't say whether it's positive or negative feedback. It's just gotten a lot of feedback.
Just a lot of people saying it happened.
Just received some text messages. Received some Slack notifications.
Yeah.
Received some comments on unnamed audio app. Okay. What are some of the highlights here?
The first thing I want to call out is actually something that I'm unclear if it's happening still or not, but it's honestly too cool to not mention it at the very least. The Texas Rangers are not only giving away a Nolan Ryan bloody lip jersey. So this is a Nolan Ryan jersey with fake blood splattered on it from the time that he got hit in the face with a one hopper from Bo Jackson and then proceeded to continue pitching with blood dribbling from his face. They are giving a replica jersey away of that. They had also scheduled a Nolan Ryan punching bobblehead, presumably meant to reference the time Nolan Ryan put Robin Ventura into a headlock and started beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, he rocked his world.
It was set to be sponsored by Nolan Ryan Beef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nolan Ryan Beef is a huge internet rabbit hole that I went down.
Yeah. Do you want to share anything that you've learned?
No, I'll leave any
that might be another
discussion of leftist beef content. Any leftist discussion of baseball beef content to our friends over at Batting Around. I don't want to step on their corner. I respect them too much.
Anyway, that promotion was removed from the schedule, it seems like, but because
of woke?
because of woke. Exactly.
They took away the bobblehead of my beloved Nolan Ryan beating up Robin Ventura for what? You guessed. For what reason? You guessed it. Because they're both white.
Mm-hmm. Bringing it over to Sacramento on June 13th, Athletics will be playing not in the AAA ballpark that they are spending most of the year in, but they will be playing a series in Las Vegas.
Just one.
Where all fans in attendance will receive a poster with blueprints of the new Las Vegas A's stadium.
Oh, wow. I'm actually quite disappointed in the Tipping Pitches community for not putting this on our radar sooner.
I know.
And I apologize if someone tagged us about this and I didn't see it, but I don't think that we've got an email about this. This feels like maybe something that we have to go to
try and go to and get. Yes.
Shit.
I also want to note that Kiri has linked to existing blueprints of this ballpark, which I had not yet seen before, but it features an incredible amount of renderings.
Oh, so it's a two for the price of one document. It's
This is like
and renderings, which we know are different things.
Yeah, and these are like roughly a year old, but this is what was submitted to the like Las Vegas Stadium Authority or whatever.
Maybe I don't have the correct software to open this, but these just look like geometric shapes when I open this document that is linked here.
I'm not sure what you mean. There are definitely some circles on the first few pages.
Like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are these? These are just vibes? This is just the
Like,
vibe.
like maybe some textures.
What is happening? Okay, now I'm here to the renderings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, this stadium that is definitely not going to actually look like this is going to look cool.
Well, you know what? It better look like this because every single fan in attendance is receiving the blueprint. Honestly, I am really curious. This is going to be an awesome collector's item for when the stadium doesn't actually end up looking like this.
This is quite bold.
It is.
By JJF.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, fine, I'm committing to this. Whatever. Oh, look, they're playing the Yankees. Jazz hitting leadoff. In what world is Aaron Judge hitting 288? Rude. And Goldschmidt's hitting 289? Come on. I'm getting distracted. The A's in this rendering are beating the Yankees 9-0 in the third inning.
That's right.
I think it'd be a good Patreon episode to just scroll through these renderings and just pick out little stuff that we find.
Yeah.
You know, and like share our screen and like zoom in on it and talk through it. Is that funny? Is that a good idea?
I think that is a good idea.
Okay, great. This board, how is this board going to be like this at this angle? I want the blueprint. I unfortunately I do want the blueprint.
I agree. I don't just want to print it myself. I need the poster. All right, let's talk.
Might be tricky though. June, tough month.
Why? What else are you doing?
Well, we have our Typic Pitches meetup at the Brooklyn Cyclones.
That's actually true.
Which, by the way, is the day before this. So we go directly from the Cyclones meetup on June 12th at 6:40 p.m. and we fly to Las Vegas the next day. Is that a funny idea?
That is a funny
practical?
idea. Yeah, I think it's practical and doable.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Cyclones meetup is going to be once again on Brooklyn Cyclones Pride Night Friday, June 12th. No link to buy tickets yet, though we will share that in the coming weeks.
I can't wait for that. I mean, it's one of my favorite events of the year. I already have people asking about it.
People just on the street approaching you, being
Yeah,
like, "Sir, when
saying,
is
"Sir,
the
so
Brooklyn
when is
Cyclones?"
the meetup?" Ray's giving out little replicas of Tropicana Field. Also funny. We didn't even mention pieces of the roof of the Trop are in the Weeble jersey patch.
See, I did see that, and I don't really understand what they meant, and that felt like
I don't really either.
Like hidden in the design.
I think it's like, yeah, I don't even think it's visible. I think it's just sort of embedded within the patch.
Okay.
But you and I will know it's there.
Can't sneak it past us.
I don't know if there's anything else that jumps out to you on this list. I think the Addison Barger couch surfing bobblehead is cool in reference to Barger crashing on Davis Schneider's pull-out couch during the World Series, and then
it's a T-shirt though, not a bobblehead, right?
Oh, it is a T-shirt.
It's like one of those boardwalk style T-shirts. With like
God,
his name.
Yeah, I know. They all really love these T-shirts these days. All the teams have ones like them.
I know. It's silly. I think it's silly to make an Addison Barger T-shirt and not put Bam Bam anywhere on there. His nickname, Bam Bam. Every baseball team needs a Bam Bam. And you have your Bam Bam right there, and you're not even going to put that on the T-shirt?
I know.
Shameful.
Ridiculous.
Joe Davis loved the Bam Bam thing. He was like, and they call him Bam Bam for a reason. I liked the Yoshinobu Yamamoto Yoshi bobblehead.
Yeah.
The character Yoshi in a sort of crossover with the new Mario movie, which I didn't know was happening. That they gave that out on my birthday.
Wow, and you call yourself a film bro.
I've decided that I will never watch another Chris Pratt movie. I'm just like a firm no Pratt rule forever. I'm done with him. I'm out.
Yeah.
We're out. He lost me somewhere along the way. If he appears in the movie, I'm not going to watch it. Knowing now that I've put this out in the world, it'll be like, and Martin Scorsese has replaced Leonardo DiCaprio with Chris Pratt in his final film.
Chris Pratt starring in There Will Be Blood 2.
That's the worst sentence I've ever heard in my life. I want the podcast to be over.
Lucky for you, Bobby. I think we're there. Unless there's anything else on this list that you want to pull out. The White Sox giving away a Finance Bro vest, which is just a vest, but they're calling it a Finance Bro vest. It is funny. Good bit.
The Yankees should do that. Then everybody at the game can double up on their Finance Bro vest.
Yeah.
I'd like to go out on this, which is that on May 30th, the Reds are giving away a Spencer Steer bobble card. I don't really know what that means, but it is presented by Skyline Chili. I would just like to take this one final moment to tell everyone listening to this podcast, don't use that giveaway on May 30th to take your shots at Skyline Chili. Not here. Not in this community. This is a sort of bonus band topic. Don't come to me with your anti-Skyline Chili takes, everybody, because if you haven't eaten it and you've just seen a picture of it and it looks gross, I want to say it's delicious. Skyline Chili. This is a pro Skyline Chili podcast. Awesome, awesome food. The conies, the chili, the onions, the cheese. It's all good. It's all good. This is a pro Skyline Chili podcast. Always has been. Always will be. Have you ever had Skyline Chili?
I've never had it. This might be my opportunity.
Should we also go on May 30th to get this? Alex just, in the span of 18 minutes, just booked $12,000 worth of travel for us.
Las Vegas and Cincinnati.
I mean, the two great pillars of this country.
Yep.
Can't live with them, can't live without them. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening. If you like what you heard and you want more, well, you know where to go. It's patreon.com/tippingpitches, where if you sign up at the top tier, the Alex Rodriguez VIP Club, you will get access to semi-monthly bonus episodes. There's a whole back catalog of like 55 of them too. Many of them are like still kind of relevant, frankly. They're evergreen ideas. They're extended versions of episodes that you might remember from the near distant past. Near distant? That's not a phrase. The near past or the distant past. Yeah.
Come on, we're almost there.
Pitches. Dude, I didn't send out my holiday cards, and I know you didn't send out your holiday cards, which means correct. At this point, I am conceiving of them for all the folks in our A-Rod VIP Club tier who are promised a handwritten card. I'm conceiving of them as a Mayday card, like a Happy Mayday. Just ignore the fact that it's designed like for the winter end of year holiday.
Yeah.
I'm just going to probably like write Happy Mayday on there. But we haven't forgotten about you, and we do appreciate your support. And I do love writing those cards every year because it's a reminder of how many folks are so generous and that we appreciate you all so very much. Not to get earnest here at the end of the podcast, but thank you for the support. I'm really happy to be doing this week in and week out for another baseball season, our 9th. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alex Rodriguez. Tipping pitches.
Tipping pitches.
This is the one that I love the most.
Tipping pitches.
So we'll see you next week. See ya!